Hello and welcome to Euroclash 2026. I am Riggs and I am joined by
Duke Special.
And you are joining us for game 2 of this first day here. This is going to be between our host Newcastle roller derby, the Canny Belters, taking on Yotterberg roller derby. Let's get you some rosters. So let's get straight into it with our host Newcastle roller derby, the Canny Belters. You have 000 Drama Bomb, 013 Lockdown, 028 Smash, 1038 Fraulein Cattastic, 104 Peregrine, 11 Helen Drew, 135 Tinker Rebel, 1420 Grievous Bodily Harm, 1222 Julia, 22 the Rottweiler, 27 Hit 1 Pearl 1, 314 Lucy, 495 Eradicate, 540 Charlotta Payne, 5678. Oh, that's giving me some step things. Darcy Tussle. Number 6 Fifi Le Bomb. Number 79 Spangled. 82 is Shred. 86 is Terry Sudren, and number 91 is Pretty Skate Machine. They are your Canny Belters.
And from Yotterberg roller derby A team, we have 1618 Fred Flinter, 21 Katriarkan, 24 Stopless, 247 Berlin, 26 Bumblebee, number 3 Princeton, number 31 Alice Babs, number 404 Payne Gretzky, number 414 Otton, number 48 Moron, number 5 Fema, number 56 Snagger, number 83 Kafka, number 940 Sister Lister, and number 99 Ellen.
Well, the good news is we are rosters red and we are underway here in the Dome, and it is Peregrine versus Fred Finter first off, and as you may have guessed from the noise in the venue, that is the Canny Belters and Peregrine picking up the first lead for Newcastle, now engaging, but Finter out front, escapes the pack, completes the initial, Peregrine being recycled there. And then we're going to play it safe. We're going to call that first jam there, Duke. Everybody getting their wheels under them.
Just a nice little short one. Looks like it's going to be 3 points on the board there for the Canny Belters. None yet for Yotterberg. But they are lining up once again on our Clementine Services jam line.
Clementine, our big old sponsor of Euroclash here this weekend. So a big thank you to them. Let's see who's taking the line. That looks like Julia for Newcastle, who are playing in the black today. And you have Yotterberg in the white. That is number 26.
That is Bumblebee.
And Bumblebee just floating through the middle there. Muhammad Ali would be very proud of the sting in that one. Coming on through now, looking to score. We do, in fact, I think that's a star pass. Is that a star pass? It is indeed. That looks like Terry Sudren, who often takes the start for Newcastle Services employed, but Göteborg able to pick up all 4 there.
Yeah, it's smart play by Newcastle to go, okay, we're not out lead, we just want to stop Göteborg as fast as we can, make that quick star pass, and yeah, hold them.
And the star pass, an incredibly effective tactic thing over the last year, 18 months to developing that and really executing the. Let's see who we've got here now, and it is Eradicate on the line for the Canny Belters going up against Princeton for Yotterberg. Princeton also does a good line in pivot as well, so a definite double threat there, and picks up a second lead for Yotterberg, so that's 2 in a row for them. We do have our wonderful producer with us who will keep us on the straight and narrow today as Eradicate makes that first turn. Princeton comes in and just sails round because are we in some penalty trouble here, Duke?
We've got 2 Newcastle blockers in the box, so that is it's a nice call there from Princeton going, oh, I've got lead, other jammers got out, I can stop them scoring, and I can give my jammer a really nice power start off the line.
So maybe it's those initial nerves. I mean, been focused a lot. It's a fantastic tournament that is being put on here. It is a lovely setup at the Dome. So Newcastle have probably been very busy. So it's time to get their heads in the game now. It's going to be a Tink Rebel going up against Sister Lister here for Yotterberg. I'm not sure that, that is right. Yep, we're on there. Sister Lister. And it is Sister Lister making short work, that pack advantage playing in to allow Yotterberg to pick up 3 in a row here. Oh, hats are coming off everywhere. This has been the trend this year in 2026. Can you keep your hat on? In the meantime, back in and scoring. Come Yotterberg with Sister Lister, pushing on that tripod up front. Oh, lovely work to the inside, but still has 1 to beat, and that's a lovely block there and take back. We're going to power jam, is that? So power jam now in favour of Yotterberg. Newcastle trying to do the defence. That was, in fact, Fraulein Katastic, who was great there, 103.8, who you can see kind of organising things in there with Terry Sudrum right now. But this is some excellent work from Newcastle. Penalty kill to the point that they forced them into the call-off.
I mean, it's a really nice penalty coming in there from Newcastle. Like, you've got to play the games in front of you, and sometimes that is scoring loads of points, and sometimes it's going, okay, well, how do we keep this as much in our favour as we can, even while the Yotterberg are going, power jam, let's make it.
Yeah, so 3 points on that jam takes Yotterberg to 11. Kenny Belters on 3. So, of course, Tinkerbell will be starting in the box here. So this is a power jam start for Fred Finter. Fred putting in a great showing at Hard Block Life as well. So out here now, finds some lovely room on the outside line, comes through. So picks up lead. I think that's 4 or 5 in a row now that's 4 in a row. Beautiful production there. Just reassuring us that Yotterberg are on a nice little roll here. We're asking a lot of Newcastle. They are playing up in the rankings. They're about 19th. Everybody else is 14, 13 and 12. And number 8, of course, for Tiger Bay as well. So it's a bit of a big ask. But Fred Finter out here looking to make a nice opening statement. We saw Tiger Bay set the tone earlier on today. Yotterberg are looking to do the same. Oh, lovely work from Finter there. Fred Finter just coming on through. That's a second scoring pass, so looking for a 12 points. I think we're 27 points as our biggest jam of the day so far. 27 points on a Saturday morning.
That's a lot of points.
Look at that lovely work. And once again, it's Fraulein there, and the big drawback. I can't see the number from here, but it was lovely. All the way back down the straightaway. Newcastle doing some great defensive work here. Drama bomb!
Nice. That was...
I don't even need to know the number. I think we're going to get some good stuff coming out of this weekend, and I do love to see Drama Bomb doing the blocking. But look at this action. These blockers are not messing about. Have we had a star pass?
Yeah, Drama Bomb has taken that star.
Look at that. Fred Finter is just in there like a washing machine, whirlpooling around. But look at Drama Bomb delivering hits and providing the escape as well. Oh, lovely work. But Yotterberg picking up 12 unanswered points. A few scoreless jams here.
Just a couple. Yeah. Just a little. I mean, it's a 20-point difference. That isn't that much in Roller Derby, given we've had a 27-pointer already today. You know, that's one decent jam.
Just one decent jam, but Yotterberg really finding their flow here as we go into this Bumblebee back out and jamming for Yotterberg, going up against Spangled. First time out for Spangled. So look at Bumblebee coming up the inside. I think somebody got a penalty there. Oh, and it was the Yotterberg jammer as well as the pivot. Everyone got a penalty there. Fair's fair. So this is a power jam in favour of the Kenny Belters now. Spangled head down, driving.
Sorry. No, Bumblebee got lead, went to the box by confusion, I think is what's happened there. Got waved back on by the ref going, no, come back.
Oh, you confused me too, Bumblebee, so we're all good. But you're not the lead now. Oh, yes, you are the lead.
Yeah, they never lost lead. They went to the box in
Okay, we're all good now.
It's all good.
Everyone's okay now. Oh, lovely. After the confusion, a beautiful line opens up and Bumblebee is able to make hay through there. Oh, and back in and dividing up that pack. The pivots are going for each other. Lovely moves. Oh, but look at that. Was that Terry Sudrum? I think it was, number 86.
Yeah.
What a hit.
Beautiful.
Last chance saloon. These pivots are trying to take each other on. Head first works. Go for it, Spangled. Out and clears the pack. Shoved to the inside. We do see Bumblebee say that'll do for me. Slightly confusing, but all come out in the wash.
Yeah, we'll get there in the end. Looks like that is going to be one block apiece in the box for each team. So far, I feel like Kenny Belters has been having a little bit more penalty trouble than Yotterberg, but maybe I'm just imagining that. We'll see how it plays out. They're having a fight. They've not put any points on the board since that opening jam with the 3, but there's still time.
And we're going to have Princeton versus Peregrine here. The battle of the P's. We are off, we are underway. Everybody's piled up on the inside. That is Peregrine under there. Has to reset. Princeton up front. They are pushing hard. We're getting some support, some lovely offense coming in there, trying to break things up. Somebody's getting a multiplayer, but it's not Princeton who gets lead. And Yotterberg are locking this down, but Drama Bomb has taken the star pass and has absolutely gone. Yeah, really putting the pressure on Princeton there.
Nice. That's the 6th lead in a row for Yotterberg, which, if I do, roughly about 90% lead average. 6th, 7th. It's a little bit tricky to do.
Well, that's how to make the rest of it. And most of us announcers have a trouble with, score differentials. And Duke's out here just quickly calculating percentages.
Oh, we can't do the differential there. I'm like, counting? No. Stats. Yes. I know my lane.
If we disguise it as stats, is that what it is?
I'd be like, the differential, that's easy.
We're having a little pivot line start here, Duke. Treat ourselves. Julio versus Sister Lister. They wanted a bit of a run-up, and it doesn't seem to have done either of them any good as we've settled into our respective tripods, as we do have one in the box for each. Both jammers having a right old time of things as we have lockdown. Honestly, lockdown tighter than the Straits of Hormuz right now. I'm going to go geopolitical on you. There ain't no ships going nowhere. Ooh. I say that, but Julia, they find the space on the inside. That is the first lead in a while for the hosts, and the crowd appreciates Julia's work. So Julia is out scoring now. They are going to try and put some first points on the board since that very first jam, and the gods have delivered a power jam to Julia now. So in control and completely able to run this as long as they want to or set themselves up for an advantage. But Yotterberg, look at this defence.
I mean, this is a question now actually for the Newcastle bench, because I'm pretty confident that Sister Lister is on their initial pass. It's worth Newcastle running it because they could really pack some points on right now.
Yeah, but Yotterberg are doing a fantastic job, and they have decided that Yotterberg defence is just having too much of a time. They grab the 4 points and they're going to give themselves the power jam start. Let's see who they hand that to as Sister Lister remains in the box. 35 to Yotterberg, 7 to Canny Belters.
Looks like that is going to be 495 Eradicate for Newcastle with that power start. I do always think the problem with the power start is, on the one hand, you don't have to deal with the other jammer, but on the other hand, the opposing team only has to concentrate on you.
Everyone looking at you.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to hide, is there? As Eradicate discovers, as the pack tries to swallow up that negative space off the start line. Yotterberg, though, interrupted by that offence, and it allows Eradicate to come on through. They have control of this jam. This is exactly the turn of momentum that Newcastle would have been wanting. So Sister Lister, I think we had a star pass.
We've had a little star pass, yeah, that has gone to Berlin.
Excellent, lovely stuff. I was like, what was that pivot trying to get up the inside there? As we see Eradicate go through, pick up the 4. So you do wonder, should they have run the last one? But Eradicate is saying, no, exactly, this is what you should have done. Give it to me. I'm on my second scoring pass. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah, I think personally I would have run the last one. I would have gone Sister Lister still on that initial pass. That gives us time, but it's easy to say from here.
It is. Tell us in the chat. Is it? We're on YouTube, aren't we? Tell us in the chat.
Tell us in the chat.
Tell us what you'd have done. What does your strategic count say? 35 is Yotterberg. Canny Belters are up to 14 now. They've held Yotterberg scoreless for 1 or 2 now. 2.
2 in a row, I believe.
2 in a row. It's not shifted yet, but it's on its way for a shift. Tink Rebel back out up against Fred Finter. So Newcastle, as we said, are in the black. Yotterberg in the white. Fred Finter out there. Look at that lovely shirt whip. Fred does that so well. Picks up lead there for Yotterberg. They do lose a blocker to the box. Everybody's losing their hats. Right? It's a star pass, but that's to give it back so that they can take it again, which is always fun. But here we go. Here comes the pressure from the star pass. Fred grabs the points though, and that's a 4-0 jam for Yotterberg. Why aren't these hats staying on, Duke?
I mean, I don't know if it's a new helmet thing, maybe a design thing, maybe it's just a new fashion.
I mean, at least nobody's bitten one off yet. That's true. That's true.
There's still time. There's always time.
We've got all weekend.
Yeah. So much roller derby, so many possibilities.
So many good games coming up for you today. But let's go back to our Clementine Services jam line. And it is Spangled versus Bumblebee. Spangled is pushing out front. Some great offense. That's Drama Bomb in there, wearing the stripe. But there's another hat down. Whose hat is that? It's a pivot hat. It's all right. We don't worry about that one. But big recycle. And it is Bumblebee who comes out with lead. That confusion, that chaos, allowing Yotterberg to pick up lead here. As we see, that's a star pass as well to Drama Bomb, casually looking over the shoulder, wants to play offense and defense, and still focusing on the defense here, trying to slow the progress of Bumblebee. We are all bunched up at the pivot line.
That is Bumblebee's third consecutive lead so far in this game. They are having a cracking time.
Have got the feel for it this morning, got their skates under them. So, Drama Bomb trying to tiptoe through on that inside line, but was denied. Yotterberg setting up really well on this apex and just really able to create quite a lot of slowdown here. Oh, but that's a lovely little bit of patience from Drama Bomb. Escapes. Needs to put their hat on before they get back round. Not even worried about that. Just wants to force the call off. Let's see if Yotterberg picked up any more in there.
Well, I didn't spot, but the pivot managed to lose their hat in that one.
Yes. Yeah, it ended up in the lane. Yeah, like I said,
hats everywhere.
I think we're going to need some straps for our hats, people.
A little bit of Velcro. Oh, fuzzy felt. Fuzzy felt coating for the helmet. Stick it on. So much better.
But would that affect the loophole you told me about earlier, where technically a pivot can just turn over and yoink the cover off?
It would make it trickier, but I reckon they could manage.
Still able to do it. We're going to see a familiar matchup here again. It's Peregrine out jamming for Newcastle up against Princeton, who is in front, driving hard. Somebody's picked up a forearms. It is a Newcastle blocker. Princeton shakes off the last one, and they are your lead jammer now. So Yotterberg managing to wrest a little momentum back. I think we've got another star pass, and I think that's Terry Sudrum once more taking responsibility, but Yotterberg through for 4.
And that is 3 consecutive lead jams for Yotterberg, who are, they're having a good day.
This is exactly the kind of warm-up that Yotterberg will have been wanting. So, in my humble opinion, the game of the day today is Game 5, which is going to see Yotterberg take on Long Roller Derby. That is number 12 versus number 13, and only number 12 gets an invite to Euro Champs. So, you need to be here about R5 today for an absolute beautiful game with some epic stakes.
That is going to be a fun one. I'm excited for that.
It is. You may have heard us refer to the Clementine Services Jam Line. Let me just tell you who they are and what they do. Clementine offer fast, reliable repairs by qualified tradespeople at affordable prices. They do only cover the north of England, so us southerners are just going to have to put up with other nonsense. All right? So when it comes to your home, reliability matters. Clementine, they are the reliable choice for all your property.
They are, and in addition to very kindly sponsoring us for this event this weekend, they bought some massive boxes of clementines to keep us all fed and getting our fruit.
Your oranges at half time.
So we've got a little note from lovely producer Chris telling us that Newcastle working on a 6-jammer rotation, Yotterberg working on a 4-jammer rotation, which is interesting because it means you're not going to see the same matchups over and over.
And yet somehow Peregrine and Princeton keep finding each other.
Yeah, in fact, it just keeps cycling around. It's like, it's you, friends.
So looks like we are about ready to resume. It is 47 on the board for Yotterberg, playing in the white with the lovely teal highlight, and we have the Canny Belters in their black and gold. It is Julia versus Fred Finter, and Fred loves that outside line and manages to come through, picks up lead whilst falling, which is always impressive, but there goes Julia as some penalty trouble does allow Julia to take advantage of that. They are now out. Fred will be looking for points. And don't forget, the differentials are so important this weekend. So, running it, not running it, those are going to be some really important decisions.
Absolutely. They'll be looking for these big point differentials. You don't want to risk that being closed, that gap in any way. Even if you still win, the differential is going to make a difference. And we've got a jammer in the box. I
was a bit like, where are you going, Julia? Where are you going? I thought for a minute I was like a reset, but Julia picking up a penalty. So Fred on a power jam here. And Yotterberg now looking to score. Here comes the offense. Lovely. Just that outside line of Fred are just best friends today.
I've noticed in general, Yotterberg really good at making the most of those lines, doing some lovely toe stop, bouncy, scramble along the outside line, scramble along the inside line.
Just into the Staying in the deep water for the moment is Fred, but looking to tiptoe through in the shallows. But Newcastle able to keep bodies in front.
Ooh, and we do have both our jammers back on the track now.
Oh, stealth mode at the back there.
There's a star being stashed. Ooh.
So
Possibly being
I was
yeeted.
about to say, watch out for Drama Bomb here. I think that's a star pass. There you go. There it is. Drama Bomb escaping, one to beat. Really good stuff up front.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, Yotterberg coming in having a solid day. To misuse an Australian phrase, they are not here to sleep with spiders. Let's go with that.
So, just in case you're thinking, God, can I get some more good roller derby? We've got Tiger Bay versus Lorem coming up next. Then it's Bear City versus Newcastle. And as I said, the game, Lorem versus Yotterberg, last thing today. And then there's a whole other day tomorrow. But don't worry about that. Let's focus on Eradicate versus Bumblebee right now. Eradicate with the big drawback. Has to go all the way back to the between turn 2 and 3. As we see Bumblebee up front, there is some support coming in from the pivot. That is number 31 there. That is Malice Babs. But in all of that, while I was looking at the roster, Eradicate went, Riggs, I'm lead.
It's my go. I'm going to do lead.
And the crowd did love it.
Well,
so
that is a star pass to Malice Babs.
Oh, it was worth looking up Malice's name, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a nice quick one there, and high fives all round from the Canny Belters, who pick themselves up 4 points to bring them to 20. Yotterberg on 59.
Nice. That is the second lead in a row for Eradicate. I think he's proven to be one of Newcastle's stronger jammers in this game.
Yeah. Maybe they're going with a 6 see who does all right, and then they'll slim it down a little.
Possibly. I think also there's a lot about like looking for matchups, going, oh, this person worked well against this wall. Let's do that again. Let's change this. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're talking about doing well against the wall. Princeton just sort of blew through that one quite simply, picking up lead for Yotterberg. Princeton doing some great jamming today. Spangled is out there and he's battling hard, but having a little trouble shrugging off these Yotterberg blockers. And you can tell by that curious ref just staring into nothing there that they absolutely are still hanging on to Spangled. Look at this defence. This is unreal. And there's a little part of my heart bleeding for Spangled right now because that looks like a really tough place to be. Here comes some offence. That's number 6, Fifi LeBomb, trying to help out Spangled. This is all the action in this back straightaway. And look at Yotterberg locked down on Spangled here. Great defence, but what a star pass. Lovely work from Drama Bomb to the rescue there. Oh,
really nice stuff. It's just, it's so fun to watch, and yet at the same time, it doesn't look like it's necessarily fun to play.
So what you wonder about people who are like, yeah, well, I watched roller derby, I want to be a jammer.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're all right,
it's second degree fun. It will be fun when you've finished, but right now you're like, oh God, why am I doing that?
But that was some beautiful, beautiful blocking out there from the Yotterberg defence there. And I know I'm all about the glamour for the jammers, right? You will hear me whoop whoop, but when the blockers show out, we show up. Now, Peregrine matching up against Fred Finter. I don't know if we've seen this matchup before. I don't think so. Two very, I feel like, similar styled jammers, in my humble opinion, as we work at these, both working the outside line. Oh, Peregrine! All that work down the gym, all them little hops we see you doing. Absolutely paying off there, picking up lead.
Producer Chris tells me that this was in fact the lineup we saw in Jam 1 when Newcastle put those early points on the board.
That was a very long time ago.
It was a very, very long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. Many things have happened. Oh, and the Canny Belters have brought themselves back into a nice 40-point difference. And as we said, it's not insurmountable at all, that. So, Canny Belters on 23, Yotterberg on 63. You've got 8 minutes and 56 left in the half. And we're going to have Julia versus a Bumblebee. I believe everybody's out there because it looks all busy on that Clementine Services jam line. And they was all a bit excited there. Calm yourselves.
Yeah, don't jinx it. In an official timeout?
I mean, we all grew up with gladiators. You know which whistle you're supposed to go on, right?
Yeah. I mean, go back, roller derby old. You know, the pack is released on the first whistle, and the jammers were released on the second whistle.
I'm not that roller derby old.
Oh, I am. I'm roller derby dinosaur. Wow. I remember knee starts.
Anyway, we've got people out there. They are jamming. That is number 76, Bumblebee, going up against Julia. Julia is being held up in the pack. The Yotterberg defence today has been fantastic. So in comes Bumblebee on a scoring pass. We are locked down in turn one. Julia finds room on the outside though, in amongst all of that, and gets out to complete the initial. Shoved to the inside is Bumblebee, who says, fine, I'll just have whatever points I've got from there, and calls it.
Very, very nice. Coming outside, we have got Princeton so far sitting on a 100% lead average. But up against Eradicate, who I believe also sitting on 100% lead average, so someone is about to lose that stat.
Somebody's about to have a little moment.
Who knows who?
Place your bets now. Don't bet, actually. Very bad for you. Don't betting. Betting. We're not that kind of sport.
You can make your guesses.
Educated guesses, or like if you've got the octopus who predicts things,
Yes.
I'm all right with that. All right.
The octopus of prediction.
Right, Eradicate up front. It is 2 there in the pack, trying to hold back Eradicate. Great lateral work, and that is Eradicate, who retains 100% lead Jalma status. Princeton now drops a little and is being locked in by this lovely Newcastle defence. They are forced to bridge, but that is a 2-wall that has Terry Sudrin in it, so pretty good one. Backed up by, I can't see the number, but it looks like 540 Charlotte Payne, and they are quite the duo. And look at this callback or run back, beautiful.
I thought we were about to have backwards Derby there with both jammers off, but luckily somebody decided not to do that.
So Eradicate, of course, is in there just looking to find any kind of movement. There are some penalties, so that's going to make life easier for somebody. Let's see who picked that one up. It will appear on your screen any second now. They are hit one per one with a track cut. But look at this melee on this straightaway. Nobody's giving an inch here, Duke.
It's a scrum. They are so tightly packed. Oh, someone going over. That is Princeton going over. But it's a real fight for every single point here. And no one is giving any ground.
Nothing at all. It feels like these blockers have really started to tune into these jammers now, and they are locking down. Princeton is considering options. Do I take it off? Do I not take it off? We go for the offense, almost like a dummy star pass there. I liked that. Oh, but the pivot does pick up a penalty at the end there. Oh, tough jam check.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lovely job there. Canivet pulling it up 27, just the 4 points on the board. It felt like more. Like, Yotterberg really shut down Eradicate, but at the same time, Newcastle really shut down on Princeton, so it's solid work. I think they should be happy with those 4 points. Like, they put a lot of work in to get them.
So 27 on the board for the Canny Belters. Yotterberg sitting on 66, which is about 5.5 minutes left of this half. And I think these team talks at half-time are going to be super interesting. So the pack advantage is with the Canny Belters as we go into this next one. Can Peregrine find a route through? Drama Bomb is in there trying to offer the offense. Because obviously the Canny Belters have that advantage right now. So Drama Bomb trying desperately, but Yotterberg just able to shrug it off, Just the way some of us manage to ignore annoying people on the high street. These guys are not giving a donation to Drama Bomb today. Headphones in and just ignoring. And actually, Drama Bomb is forced to bridge as we see similar lacks of success from the offense at the back for Newcastle as they hold off the Yotterberg pivot. 4:04, offense not found.
Yeah, that's a full 45 seconds. We're nearly a minute in without anyone getting out.
But if I'd have said to you before this whole thing started that Fred will get lead and they'll get it by doing a shirt whip on the outside,
yeah.
I'd have been on some there. But is that a star pass?
I believe
or
that
is that just Rubber Bomb picking on the other pivot?
Look
at this fight.
I can see a hat. That is a stealth test to Drama Bomb.
I do love a bit of pivot on pivot battle. It's brilliant.
So good.
They're so strategic as well with it. Look at that pressure from Drama Bomb there, forcing the call off as Newcastle only gave up the 3 points there. So Newcastle really tuning in now, able to lock down on Yotterberg. And I said there's quite a rankings difference between these two teams.
Yeah, I feel like Newcastle suddenly they've really got their stride. They've worked out how to play against Yotterberg and to shut them down. If I were the Yotterberg bench, I would be calling a timeout right now. I will also just take a minute to be very professional and say that our current score is 27 for Canny Belters, Yotterberg Roller Derby on 69.
Nice. Legally obliged to do that, folks. Julia versus Bumblebee, and it is Julia up front. They are pushing hard and forcing Yotterberg to bring all 4 blockers back in to defend, but the pivot does go off now, tries to release, but that is Charlotta Payne who denies that quick escape up the inside. Bumblebee now pushing in the front of the pack as Julia has been maintained at that entrance to turn 1. Has stashed the star now, but nobody...
lead to Yotterberg, but they've been reabsorbed.
I heard a whistle, but then didn't see anybody break out, and so it was a little like, are you sure?
Yeah.
But hips past, that's all that counts. So Yotterberg in control now. Pack advantage with them as well as hit 1 per 1 in the box for a forearm. Julia is just having a right old nightmare. Has ended up back at the jam line, the Clementine Services jam line. Service is so good, Julia's gone back there. Oh, well, look at that lovely work from Bumblebee there. Just took a moment, regathered, and then pushed on through to pick up 4. We haven't had too many multi-pass jams in this game. Newcastle have done quite well, but it looks like they are going to give up a few here.
Yeah, I think we've only had the 1 multi-pass jam so far. So this is going to be our 2nd of the game, which is mad.
That tells you how good the blocking has been today. Look at them. Nobody's going anywhere.
Just absolutely locked down there on Bumblebee, who is...
Honestly, we could be in the traffic for the Metro Centre at this point. We ain't going nowhere. But can take advantage of this. Terry Sudren has taken the star, and look at the strength and the power in the deep water there, playing it safe and physically taking on Yotterberg there. Oof. Yotterberg managed to come out of that jam with 7 points by the looks of things. They did hold the Canny Bell to scoreless, and they are really starting to pull away now. That's a 49-point differential.
Very nice. Good differential maths. Probably.
Oh, please check that at home.
Yeah. Right in. Tell us if we're right or wrong.
Don't tell me. It's going to be Eradicate versus Princeton. So Eradicate, as you remember, has maintained that 100% lead jammer status. Princeton lost out last time, so let's see who gets it this time. Can Princeton spoil Eradicate's party? We see the Yotterberg blockers jump into the front to reform. Eradicate is playing it smart, is staying in the middle, but that is Princeton who sneaks up the inside, gets lead, and the blocker in Princeton blatantly wants to take on Eradicate.
We love a bit of jammer on jammer action. Princeton just looking at Eradicate like, you're right there, I could just...
Honestly, I'm loving this. Lately, I've seen a few kind of pivot / blockers who've become kind of really taking a turn at jamming, and they can't help themselves. When they get out together, I think it's Black of Raleigh City who just immediately turns around and like almost faces up to the other jammer, and it's my favourite thing at the moment.
I can still hit you, I'm here.
I am the 5th blocker.
Yeah. 3 leads in a row there for Yotterberg roller derby. I think this will be our last jam of this first half.
What a first half. Excellent work. Peregrine going out there for Newcastle, taking on Malice Babs. First time Malice Babs has jammed for Yotterberg.
Yeah, new jammer.
Yay, new jammer alert. Here we go. But this is what we've seen today. The defence has been so good, but look at that tactic from Newcastle. Star pass to Terry Sudren, who was lurking at the front, and somehow Yotterberg were just about alive to it, just threw bodies in front, which did mean that Terry Sudren was able to escape because they just couldn't set up Duke.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice stuff for Newcastle getting that lead going into the half-time. Will give them the psychological bonus.
Yeah. And look, there we go, blocker trying a little defence at the same time. Does enough, though, to ruin the momentum of the Yotterberg jammer, Malice Babs. So everyone is back in at turn 1, locked down in front of our camera position so that you get some beautiful insight to this action. Somebody's picking up a penalty, but Terry Sudren don't care because Terry's picking up 4 points.
Nice stuff. Yeah, I feel like Newcastle got a lot to be proud of how they're playing so far. Like it's a big old rankings differential, but they're not playing like it is.
So this is a power jam now. The Yotterberg jammer really thought they were safe, and they weren't, and now they're in the box. So Newcastle able, and this will go for the 2 minutes, so able to put up some points. And as you said, psychologically, exactly what they will have needed going into this half. It's the hope that gets you through. Sometimes it's the hope that kills you, but right now the hope is with Terry Sudrin.
Got Yotterberg coming in there from Kafka.
Yotterberg crushing that hope ever so slightly. But this is an excellent end of half response from the Canny Belters. 8 points already on the board here. There's going to be a few in the pocket as well, as Southern has done the work. But look, we're going to take back the jammer. I'm going to run this clock down. All the clocks are dead. Let's see how that one came out.
Yeah, Peregrine released just in time for that final whistle, so we will start both teams with everyone back.
Lovely stuff. So it is 11 points in that jam for the Canny Belters, taking them to 38. Yotterberg picking up 3 in that one, taking them to 79.
That has been, that has been a half of road derby.
That has been a fantastic game. So Newcastle are not playing it safe in this latter part of the season. They are really throwing themselves out there. You know, they don't care about protecting that unbeaten run. They're really here to test themselves against these higher ranked teams. We saw it at Skate Around 7, going up against Namur, going up against Sam. They've been really good and kind of taking on these guys here and now. Has been fantastic, especially when we see the level of blocking, Duke.
It's so phenomenal. They are so fully locked in, ready, hanging on to those jammers. As soon as they worked out how to do it, they've just, they've become the immovable force.
They have indeed, and it's great to see some lovely bits of strategy as well coming in there. But we have got a whole other half coming up for you, and don't forget we've got some great games this afternoon. We've got Tiger Bay versus Lom at 1:30, Bear City and Newcastle at 3:30, and then the game of the day, Lom versus Yotterberg at 5:30. We will, of course, be going across to our studio very shortly for some analysis, so don't go anywhere.
If you like stats, stay right here and get more stats, and then go and do all the things you've got to do. It's about lunchtime, get a cup of tea, but make sure that you are back here in 15 minutes ready.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss that at all.
Well, half-time of Game 2, Newcastle versus Yotterberg.
Yeah, it's been a cracking game. They've been really putting the work in, as we've said on the stream. You're seeing a points differential, but it's not at all, I think, what we might have expected. The rankings difference that we've got going on. There was some really nice, tight play going on.
Yeah, from where I was in the stands, it looked like the first kind of 10 minutes Newcastle just seemed to have a bit of penalty trouble until they got a bit more settled.
Yeah, I think they took sort of 5-10 minutes, a bit of penalty trouble, a bit of working out how Yotterberg were playing, what they were doing, what they could do about it, and then they were like, oh, you're doing that. Oh, well, we'll do this. And just absolutely slammed down that defence.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I noticed, which came in a lot in the score, in the way the scores now, is how much Yotterberg were able to, whenever they got lead, just control that. Newcastle were making use of the star pass, but was just getting shut down every time they got close to a sniff of a score.
Yeah.
But those last few jams have brought that score differential a bit closer. However, this is 13th place, 20th, so really it's kind of as a race. But let's hope after this interval, Newcastle can come out and really push the second half.
Yeah, they've come out fighting, and I think we're gonna see that more in the second half. Both of them, they've got a feel for what the other team are doing. They've got this tactical play going. They've got these matchups going. I think we're going to see more of that, and I think we're going to see this continuing quite tight score differential.
Yeah, I'd love to see this one break the predictor, because there's about a 100-point difference in the prediction. If Newcastle can come out and they can control those penalties, now hopefully they're settled. This is their home venue. Obviously, they've done a great job putting this whole tournament on.
Putting all the work in.
So let's see if they can come out and actually get that scoreline back up closer towards Yotterberg. But we'll be back. Duke will be back with Riggs on the stream after some adverts, so stick around for the remainder of Game 2 here at Euroclash.
Welcome back to Euroclash 2026. We are live for the Canny Belters versus Yotterberg roller derby, second half. You can see the skaters coming back out. I am Riggs and I am being joined this afternoon by...
I am Duke Special.
And we have had a wonderful first half here. It is 38 on the board to the Canny Belters, 79 to Yotterberg. An incredibly low scoring game, which tells you that the blockers have been fantastic. So let's see what kind of tactics they can come up with in this second half.
I'm going to predict more star passes. We've had a lot of star passes so far. We had 6 leads for Newcastle in the first half, 15 for Yotterberg. And I want to say probably 16 star passes from Newcastle, it felt like.
They're just making full use of that tactic. So it's going to be really interesting. Do they have an answer for these jam starts? Are Peregrine and Newcastle going to be able to find a way through? Bumblebee is out jamming for Yotterberg. So it is Yotterberg in the white and teal. It is Newcastle in the black and gold. They are your hosts here at Euroclash. And we are underway once more. Oh, lovely work from Bumblebee, hopping around the outside, really trying to work the line. I thought that was, don't do that to me again. Everybody confusing me there. I thought Peregrine was off to the box for a second there, but takes full advantage and picks a beautiful line to pick up first lead for Newcastle. And then they had a great opening jam in the first half, and then Yotterberg came down. What a shove.
So nice.
Oh.
And again, nice on that psychological element for Newcastle coming into the second half from that power jam, coming in with another lead.
I think everybody had their clementines at half-time. We are orange powered out here and the hits are coming. But Fifi the Bomb has gone to the box. Belen's gone to the box. Payne Gretzky's gone to the box. We've got a few exiting now, coming back to the track. But this is a tough jam for Bumblebee. Peregrine already with 4 in the pocket, coming back in now. Does get shown to the infield, but somebody getting a penalty for that. It is a cut track for Bumblebee. So Peregrine now with 8 points in the bank.
No, Peregrine also picked up a cut track. It looks like we're going to have Jammer Switcheroo in the box.
That is going to be the most instantaneous Jammer Switcheroo ever. I mean, Peregrine had just got there,
yeah,
and then Bumblebee turned up.
They followed each other around. It's like sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up.
2 wrongs don't make a right, except when you both get into trouble at exactly the same time, and then you all just come back straight back out again. So, it is pinball wizard style through this pack, and it is Peregrine who manages to find the safer line up the inside, because Bumblebee is absolutely getting battered, but is somehow still upright and still skating. Unreal. Oh, what a lovely little catch at the end there. Bellin almost like Soz. I didn't mean to get you in my butt at the end there.
Yeah, Soz, I'm here. That was only our second 2-minute jam of the game, and that's essentially been 2 in a row. We've had a 15-minute break in the middle, but 2 in a row.
That's like only like the second or third multiple scoring jam as well, isn't it, in the game? And Newcastle really needed that. It was a great opening jam there from Peregrine and Newcastle. Really great blocking in there. So 46 on the board to Canny Belters. Yotterberg on 79. We are underway again. It's Julia out there jamming for Newcastle in the black. Fred Finter out there, and nobody's going anywhere right now. We are locked down.
Just point out, it's a 23-point differential, and that's what we mean when we say that 30, 40 points isn't a big gap. It's not one you can relax into.
You are not comfy in that position because anything can happen. Fred Finter is picking up a track cut, which means that Julia's patience has paid off, and they are your lead jammer. So Newcastle 2 in a row, and it maybe they have found an answer to what Göteborg is serving up here, and that is great work. Just a little pause there, just to follow the blocker.
Lovely stuff. Julia has... Oh, no, not Julia. Someone sat down.
It is the pivot for Newcastle, Terry Sudrin, who picked up the penalty there. But Julia does not need a pivot right now. Already scoring, got 4. Will pick up some points here. Finds room on the outside line again. But Newcastle are hemorrhaging blockers right now. Which won't be ideal for the start of the next jam, but there are still 45 seconds in this, so keep this running, keep collecting the points. But that's a great hit out. That is number 83, Gafka, with the drawback there. But up front Fred Finter comes through, picks up 4, so it's an 8-4 jam right now, but don't forget Julia will have points in the pocket. We're going to run this, which is sensible, Duke.
Yeah, Newcastle bench sensibly going, we've got 2 in the box. Let's try and clear that box while we've got the power.
Yeah.
We're hanging on to this jammer. We can do this. I've got faith in my 2 blockers, and they are putting their work in
They
there.
really are, and the offense is trying to be launched there. That is number 31, Malice Babs, trying to I don't know what they're trying to do to that tripod, but it's not working. Does manage to bring off one person, but what a fantastic jam from the Canny Belters, taking that one 11-8. And did they clear the box? I think they did, didn't they? So
looks like it. We're going to start with all 8 skaters. 8, 10, I can count. All 8 blockers on the track. All 10 skaters.
57 on the board to the Canny Belters, 87 to Yotterberg, and that is a lovely 30-point difference. And it's going to be the battle of the 2 best performing jammers of the first half, Eradicate versus Prince, and I mean that in lead jammer statuses, no more, no less, because I have no more stats than that. Yeah. But here they go, and it is an absolute melee off that Clementine Services jam line. Princeton at the back, trying to use that lateral movement to confuse them, but Eradicate is absolutely locked down, tries to find room on the outside, does so, but Göteborg able just to get enough hit on the momentum, and it is Princeton who wins that battle, picks up lead for Yotterberg. They're first in this second half. Eradicate goes stealth, gets through. So Yotterberg trying to get into the action here, just going to sneak through, grab the points and call it. Nice. Smart move.
Now certainly if I was the Newcastle bench here, I would be calling a team timeout, not necessarily because you need one, because you want to go, no, Yotterberg, you cannot have that momentum. We want it back, thank you.
Just to interrupt things.
Yeah.
It's going to be Peregrine versus Lister. We've got 1 in the box for the Canny Belters, so pack advantage with the Yotterberg. As they vie for position, we are going for a pivot line start, apparently.
It worked so well for them in the first half. They've decided to try it again.
Why not? And it is the Yotterberg jammer who is up front with the offensive support, but Malice Babs forced to bridge now as Newcastle are also forced to bridge, as this great work from Sister Lister up front is spreading the pack out, and Yotterberg are locked down at the back, which is giving their jammer the best. But all 3 of them are now just absolutely piling in there, and it took all 3 of them to get Sister Lister out, but it is a huge drawback back into the middle of the straightaway.
Nice work there, but like both teams just hanging on to their jammers, making their lives miserable. We are like 50 seconds in with no lead called.
And this has been a game for the blockers. And Yotterberg will need this level of defence when they come up against number 12, Lom, later on today. As we talked about that battle for Euro champs, those 12 places. And Newcastle once again with the ability to draw back the jammer, and now trying to play some offence. Look at Terry Sudrum, but that does leave the outside line open. And Terry almost closes it. But that's the advantage that Sister Lister was looking for. But Terry Sudrum then goes, well, fine, I'll just take the start myself.
Over a minute there for that lead status. That is an incredibly long time to hang on to Sister Lister. And to hang on to anyone, but to hang on to Sister Lister. Like,
just get me some points and get me off this track. Absolutely. 1 point.
And that was our first star pass of this half. I suspect there will be many, many more.
So Gothenburg now on 92, Canny Belters on 57. You've got 22 minutes left in this half, and a whole day full of roller derby still to come. So it's going to be Julia versus Fred Finter.
Fred Finter with, I want to say, about a 90% lead average. It was 100. I think they lost 1 at some point in the first half. It's about 90. Certainly a high percentage lead average.
So both pivot, prowling at the top of the pack here, as both jammers are making very little progress right now. The full complement of blockers is proving difficult. We have made it to the entrance of turn 1, but Julia is drawn back. Fred Finter is trying to sneak through the bodies. Newcastle picking up a penalty, but it is Fred Finter up at the entrance of turn 2. Twisting, turning, sliding, shaking off the hits, and it is Fred Finter who picks up lead for Yotterberg, as the Julia is once again rewound. In straight in and now scoring again, but It is lovely offense from 404 there. That is Payne Gretzky.
And we're just taking a little moment there to disentangle themselves.
Oh, and that is Fred Frinter picking up a penalty. So this is a power jam for Newcastle now. Julia, though, is possibly not aware of that as he's stuck in there. But is Drama Bomb taking the star? I can't. Yes, there is a star in Drama Bomb's hand. So battling through, and Yotterberg trying to lock down now.
Newcastle putting all of their faith in Drama Bomb to just push the whole of Yotterberg out the front there.
It's a fair bet, to be honest, but oh no.
Oh,
That's a track cut.
Oh, and that is going to be Fred Fenter just released from the box, so Drama Bomb will have to sit the full 30 seconds.
Oh, that is not what Newcastle will have wanted, but Fred Finter is also having a time of things. Here comes the offence, Yotterberg. Oh, look at that. That was excellent. Just like, I'm just going to stand in front of you like a wall, and you know exactly who that is, don't you? It was Fraulein Katastic.
Oh, very nice. So that does mean that Newcastle will be starting this with their pivot jammer in the box. It'll be interesting to see if they pop out one of their jammer rotation as a pivot, or whether they're just going to go, you'll be fine, jammer.
That looks like Terry Sudren to me.
That does.
So, I mean...
Terry Sudren, strong pivot.
Yeah.
Could absolutely take a pass. I mean, Drama Bomb, strong pivot as well.
Yes.
Can definitely jam.
Yeah.
How much they want to? Another question.
So Bumblebee is the lucky recipient of this power jam, but is also the lucky recipient of some very close attention from Terry Sudren, the aforementioned pivot, and is recycled all the way back to the jam line, our Clementine Services jam line, our wonderful tournament sponsors here today. Drummer Bomb is back out, was trying to find some room on the inside line, but it is in fact Bumblebee who does find that line, falls just inside the line to pick up lead for Yotterberg.
Really nice penalty kill though from Newcastle. They're hanging on to Bumblebee until Drummer Bomb is back out.
Absolutely, and Drummer Bomb trying to play a little defence there as well, but he's really kind of stuck in that tripod there, trying to use the laterals to break it up. But Newcastle again doing well to catch and contain, but through the middle, it's just Bumblebee just sort of climbing across laps almost to get through the pack there.
Absolutely, and it's really been a game of the jammers finding those tiny lines on the inside, on the outside. We nearly saw Drama Bomb sprint from the box to lead, but then get reabsorbed.
Yeah, Bumblebee picking some great lines here, but Newcastle somehow turning into a fluid and able to reform there in front. And here comes the offense. That is Malice Babs now, who's fresh out of their box, has come back to try and make a difference here as Drama Bomb is absolutely driving through.
And the pack almost at a standstill. They're completely snarled up here in turn 3, right in front of our camera where you're getting lovely with them.
Yeah. And Drama Bomb has done it. Huge amount of effort. Great resilience from Drama Bomb there to keep on going. And that is Yotterberg. They have smashed the century mark. There are 103, picking up 8 points in that jam, holding Kenny Belters at 57. You've got 17 and a half minutes to go.
Once again, this is why I reckon if I were Newcastle, I'd be taking a little team time out, taking a little reset, going, okay, it's good. You know, we did it. We've done great. So keep it calm, keep it going.
Oh, here's one of my little matchups that I do enjoy. Peregrine versus Princeton. Here they go. These blockers are not about to let any of these jammers have any of the glamour. You want them points, you are going to have to fight for them. And up front, Princeton is absolutely doing this. Giving me furious salmon struggles in the upstream here. All shoulders, keep them forearms down. Driving on through, but look at Yotterberg holding Peregrine barely past the jam line, which is what is allowing Princeton to one by one take out these Newcastle blockers. So, hard fought, but Princeton is your lead.
And that pack at the back so far back holding on to Peregrine that they'd almost come round to meet Princeton at turn 4.
So, Princeton is in scoring and Peregrine is just having a time of things. Peregrine's gone like 10 foot. But watch that star pass, that is fantastic. Terry Sudren grabbing the star and exploding out, picking a beautiful line. That was a pivot who had their exit line planned from the get-go.
Absolutely, just a real light. I'm going over there. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go at speed. Try and stop me. You can't.
So another 4 points for Yotterberg. They continue to creep away from the Canny Belters. And we are going to have a time out here.
There
so
is that team timeout that I kept saying, I'd take one now.
Have one. Well, now we've got one. And, you know, we do need to talk about Clementine Services because honestly, big tournament sponsor, and Euroclash is entirely powered by Clementine, your local, reliable home services team. We believe in showing up, doing it right, and standing by our work. We're excited to announce that Clementine will soon be launching home cover plans, giving you dependable protection all year round. Make sure you grab your exclusive discount code today.
So if you're just joining us, maybe you're one of Clementine, you've gone, I'm going to have a look at this roller derby thing we're sponsoring. This is it. Welcome. It's such fun.
It is, and you are seeing some top-level roller derby. In fact, we have got numbers 8, 12, 13, 14 and 19 in Europe playing here for you in the Walker Dome. On Tyneside, we are having quite the weekend. Don't go anywhere because at 1:30 today we have Tiger Bay Brawlers versus Lone Roller Derby. At 3:30 we have Bear City up against your hosts Newcastle Canny Belters. And then, as I keep saying, the game of the day, 17:30 Lone Roller Derby versus Yotterberg. 12 versus 13th. Who goes to the Muir?
It's an exciting one. It's the big question. Everyone is in that points ranking scoring for championships, and indeed, like, not just European champs, but champs in general.
You can't get to Malmo without going to Namur, and Eradicate knows that Namur's not on the map, but is fully prepared to try and make life difficult for Yotterberg. So Eradicate, with a great record in that first half, is out trying to prove it again in this second half. Does get recycled, but he's on a scoring pass as Fred Finter is now experiencing what some of the Newcastle jammers have experienced, which is, I've only gone 15 foot from the jam line.
And now I'm going backwards. This is very sad.
Stop stealing my space.
This is Newcastle's first lead in 5 jams for Eradicate.
Well done indeed. Somebody's getting a penalty there. There it is. I think it was a high block there coming in on Eradicate. But here we go up front. Fred Finter almost getting out, but no, it is Fred who picks up a track cut. So this is exactly what you would have wanted if you call a timeout. Come back out, get lead, get a power jam, get past that last blocker. Here we go.
Get those points, bring that differential back out.
Straight look at the bench there. Eradicate with a big smile says, I'm going to freeze that jammer right in that box.
They are, they're making the most of it. They've got a jammer in the box, there's a blocker in the box. They're starting with the power start and the pack advantage. Right. Yeah, it's a solid set of choices. They've got Drama Bomb back out with that pivot stripe on their helmet.
It is going to be Julia who gets this power jam.
And it looks like that is going to be a team timeout called by someone. Not sure who. Someone's having a team timeout. We love a team timeout. It gives you... Oh, it's an official timeout.
I think it's team official.
Team.
Team officials are having a timeout.
Team officials. We love our officials. We don't have all of your names, but we do want you to know that you're amazing and we love you and we can't do this game without you.
On the digital program, the printed program, we got them all out there. So Julia is on a power jam, so Yotterberg will be doing everything they can to kill this, while Newcastle will want to do everything they can to create a huge lane like that for Julia to go whooshing on through. This is a really great opportunity for Newcastle to close this differential, because playing a team so much further above them in the rankings, the more they can score, the better their points are going to look. So it is really worth it for them to play all the way to the end. And their bodies are hitting the floor on that straight away there, as we have got Fred Finter back out and attempting to use the laterals, but not fooling Newcastle.
Yeah, Julia doing almost like a sort of limbo manoeuvre, trying to get the hips through those spaces.
We do have Fred Finter, who has now completed the initial, so we're going to hear some Geordies screaming, call it, very shortly. There it is.
Nice.
Right, Ayman, call it.
Yeah, and yeah, as we discussed in the half-time with Sven, I think they're expecting a 100-point differential from this game, so the fact that they're holding it to just about 40, 50, I can do maths.
They're going to be chuffed with themselves for
40.
that.
Pretty nice.
Yeah,
Pretty nice.
And this is what the learnings you can take away from going away and playing teams ranked a little bit higher than you. That's how you progress. You play better. You find out what you need to do. And in this second half, we can see the progress that Newcastle have already made. You win or you learn, and learning right now is Peregrine picking up lead for Newcastle, learning how to deal with that Yotterberg defence. Oh, and deals with it beautifully on that return.
Nice.
You hear the crowd go wild because that was some sexy jamming.
So nice.
Oh, almost did it again, but that was Malice Babs with just that last second hit just to go it off. But that is a 7-point jam from Peregrine, taking Kenny Belters to 72. Yotterberg even held on 107. 12 minutes left in this game, and the Geordies are not going quietly.
They are not. That is 3 leads in a row for Newcastle and County Belters. They'll be looking to make it a 4th with Eradicate, who I believe has been leading all but one of their jams so far.
That timeout was a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard,
If they just listen to us, we know stuff.
We should get them speakers on the bench.
Yeah, just a little in-ear piece.
Yeah, we can tell you stuff.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, sometimes our analysis is like, have you considered getting more points and less penalties? Sometimes we've got, sensible thoughts.
I believe as a group of announcers we were watching the first game, and we established that when 3 of your team are in the box, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So we are here for very insightful insights like that. Would you like something slightly more insightful? Then do check out Euro Derby News, who have absolutely done a load of maths so that the rest of us could just watch roller derby and enjoy big hits and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple of articles on there you can read about what all of this means and how it all comes out in the wash. Or if you prefer, just come and follow them on Instagram, where they just put up pretty graphics and make it short and simple for you. Either way.
Or the option I don't recommend, find out who they are and then follow them in real life, just around.
You could do that, but from what I can gather, they're not that interesting, so it's highly unrecommended.
Just hanging out in the supermarket, like, I can see you.
Yeah, you come to the big shop with me.
Yeah, buying your oat milk.
Eradicate is out there, as we know, up against Bumblebee. These two have got faced off more than a few times. So, Cat versus B. Who wins?
We're going to find out.
So Eradicate on the outside. Oh, comes up against 404. But it is Eradicate who is all about lead today. It's a lead jammer kind of day. And Eradicate is wearing it well for the Caddy Belters, back in and trying to score already. Bumblebee is in there somewhere, yes?
Yeah. Beautiful little dip there. Under and around Cat.
Dip and a pirouette at the same time. Beautiful stuff to escape, forcing Eradicate to try and make sure they've got as many points as possible before calling it. Did they get the full complement? Just the 3 in there. Not bad, not bad. But that takes them to 75. So 32 points in it. Not a huge amount. And, if they keep creeping up on Yotterberg like this, it's going to be good. And it's not going to be good for you. Because, of course, yes, they've got to beat Long. But they need to do well in their other games as well because of maths.
Yeah, they've got to maintain that ranking differential, because just beating Long, not enough.
Yeah, they kind of need. If 13 are playing 19, they ought to be beating them by that sort of distance. Is the general gist of it. And Canny Belters have said no today.
Yeah, we heard that you were expecting a 100-point differential, and we said no, we're good actually.
But Yotterberg have gone to one of their most reliable jammers in this game so far, Princeton. So Princeton is your lead, and has now picked up the 4, as we have Terry Sudren in the box with a penalty. So Newcastle down to 3 on the track.
No star pass open for Julia either, with Terry Sudren in the box.
Yeah, and Yotterberg are very happily, 10 foot behind the pivot line. The jam start line, our Clementine Services jam line. Julia, though, has now managed to make... Oh, you see, I said it, and then they got a track cut. So my apologies, Julia. The curse of the announcer once more. Princeton doing laps now, and this is not what Newcastle would have wanted as we go into this final 10 minutes. They have given up 12 points here, and we were on a 32-point differential before this jam started, so not ideal.
No, it's definitely what Göteborg want. It's maybe not what Newcastle want.
and that offense from Yotterberg just doing enough to split up Newcastle, just to send everybody in the wrong direction. And they have frozen Julia standing in the box, which feels a little bit mean, if I'm honest.
It's a nice tactical play. You're going, yeah, it's fine. I don't get a massive power start, but I do get the advantage of being on track, being able to get going, whereas they've got to start from the box.
Now, I believe 16 points is our largest jam of this game.
I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah,
that was a really well-timed response by Yotterberg, but that unfortunate penalty does see Yotterberg now with a power start to Newcastle. But look at that!
Yes.
Sometimes starting in the pit lane is not so bad.
No, just really. Oh, and it's going to be a power jam. That is Fred Flinter off with a track cut penalty.
Julia takes a hit, calls it, and I think they called it before Fred had even got to the box.
That will be a full 30-second power start for Cali Belters going to the second half. Second.
Oh, exciting.
So exciting.
I love a little jeopardy.
Yeah, Julia really proving there that you don't have to be on track to get lead if you coming from the box, coming from the outside and just sprint.
Smart line. Just saw where the pack was and just bounced up that outside where their lane was wide open. Beautiful awareness.
I could go there.
Yeah. So Peregrine is on the power jam start and is driving through the middle. Newcastle looking to offer the offense, but now starting to hang back a little. It is Terry Sudren in there up front, but Yotterberg do know how to kill a penalty. We've seen it a few times today, and we are doing a lovely little carousel. The waterfalling is beautiful. They are so resistant to this, but Peregrine almost found room on the inside. Somebody's getting a penalty.
Someone's getting a penalty, and that is Fred Flinter back from the box. Looks like it's Yotterberg's pivot.
What a fight up front from Peregrine, and Peregrine has picked up lead much to the pleasure of the Walker Dome crowd here, as we see Fred Flinter back out and is trying to work hard, but is sort of sandwiched.
Yeah, Fred Flinter's still on that initial pass, trying to find a way through.
Oh, I think Fred's picked up another one.
I think so. Peregrine, we've been informed from lovely producer Chris, has skated against every single Göteborg jammer that they have had out.
Yeah, take them all on Peregrine. Peregrine shown to the infield there, but this is going to be 2 power jam starts in a row for Newcastle. They did pick up, I think there's going to be a couple more points in there, surely.
And again, it's another nice little bit of tactical play there from Newcastle. They're going, Fred Flinter will now be on their 3rd jam in a row. Admittedly, they've spent quite a bit of that time sat in the box, but 3 jams in a row, that's tiring. Like, that is... Please, just let me sit down. Oh, but interestingly, Princeton, with a 100% lead average, is now out as Yotterberg's pivot. I think ready to accept that start from Fred Flinter and rescue her off track. So it is Eradicate who gets the start for Newcastle, really looking to shake up that that Yotterberg defence. Seems to know how to do that with great support from Drama Bomb as well. So a quick lead grab. They'll want to make full advantage of this as we see Eradicate coming in. But Drama Bomb doing a great job of stopping Yotterberg from getting set into that tripod, which is really benefiting Eradicate, as we can see there. Just creating that opportunity to use the lateral movement really nicely. But when you see them locked down like this is where it's going to get tricky now. Look, they've reformed, they're back in that tripod. And Newcastle doing the same at the back. It is like mirror images of the same beautiful bits of blocking. Offense coming in, but here, Princeton with the big recycle on Eradicate. It looks like they've just taken a knock as well. But with the star stashed, Fred Finter completes the initial, piling the pressure on Eradicate. And that's another successful penalty kill, if we're honest, from Yotterberg. That was 3 very dangerous jams, and I gave up, not even 10 points. They've held it to that 40-point differential, having creeped it out to 50. That is an incredible penalty kill work from Yotterberg. And as a jammer, that has got to be a weight off your mind. If you're sat in the box knowing that your folks can hold the fort down while you're in there, it takes the pressure off a little bit, I would imagine. Yeah. And really nice to see Prince now essentially as a blocking role there to take the start as relief if needed, but also fully able to hold their own with the rest of the blockers. And like, no, this is fine, I can deal with this. Understandably, a team timeout being taken there by Yotterberg. Presumably go, okay, 5 more minutes, we can do this. Everybody be calm, everybody have a breather.
Absolutely.
This is what I say in the bench, like, okay, we're all doing really well. I'm just doing my nice, calm. Now, children, let's all just have a big breath in and out. Calming.
What we all need right now.
It
What
really
you
is.
might need is Clementine Services. They support the community and keep homes running. Clementine, the reliable choice.
We do love Clementine. We love them for sponsoring us and for providing us with so many Clementines.
After us. None of us have burst out into song either, so well done as well.
Yeah.
We'll place your bets now as which announcer will break into song
Oh.
at some point. I'm probably sure. I'm surprised Stramashy Boy hasn't done it already.
Yeah,
to be
it's
honest.
going to be him or me. Interestingly, Yotterberg haven't made a single star pass so far in this half. Newcastle have done 3. Newcastle, I don't know if they've been training their star passes, if they've just been really working on that. But they are.
No, I watched
making
them
it
at
work for
skate
them.
around and they use the star pass really well. They've got some really strong pivots in Drama Bomb and Terry Sudren.
Yeah.
So it is a tactic that they have drilled and used on the regular, and they do execute it incredibly well. If you watch Terry Sudren or Drama Bomb, they hang around. They have their exit strategy often planned, which is what you want your pivot to be doing. So we see Julia on the outside line there, trying to skip on through, but it is being locked down. Terry Sudren's doing that switch between back and forth right now, trying to work out, trying to offense, defense. Defense is necessary as Sister Lister is pushing up front. Newcastle are needing to play 4D right here. Malice Babs is offering the offense, but it is a power jam in favour of Sister Lister as Julia has picked up a track cut. So here comes the offense. Yotterberg piling in, clearing that line. But up front, that is number 27, hit one, pearl one, just
Joined.
able to get in the way.
Yeah, it's lovely stuff also for number 11, Helen Drew, just hanging on. It's what we say, like solo blocking, it doesn't have to be forever, it just has to be for long enough.
Just get some contact on there, anything to spoil the flow.
Yeah,
So,
that trade-off there between Helen Drew and hit one, pearl one, like taking it in turns just to hang on while the other one then got up there to join in, because 2 against 1 better than 1 against 1.
is that our first scoreless jam of the game?
I think it might be. No, apparently we have had some scoreless jams. Oh, there was the one earlier where Newcastle got out and then immediately called. There's been a couple of scoreless ones.
Okay.
But I think it's the first scoreless one where they've really put a lot of fight into it rather than just going, oh, you're right there, I'll call it.
Julia remains in the box on that track cut, so it is a power jam start for Bumblebee, who floats down the outside to pick up lead. Looking for the sting now as they come back into the pack to pick up 4 points. Yes, I did it.
I took a moment to land, I enjoyed that a lot.
So, right in, back at the jam line, doing it all again. It is Julia, needs to complete the initial, but has come out of this box with some fury. Really driving between those Yotterberg blockers. That was fabulous jamming from Julia. They have done an excellent job there to pile the pressure on to Bumblebee here. Bumblebee taking it on, and I thought they were going to run it for a second there, but it was just the last second cut-off.
Yeah.
A 3-all jam.
3 points apiece, very nice.
My blimey, we've got 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah,
Where's the second half gone?
It's gone fast.
Newcastle on 86, Yotterberg on 126. The fact that this is like a 40-point game is unreal. Newcastle, you should be super duper proud of yourselves. 19, playing number 13, and the score differential does not look anything like that. It is Peregrine versus Princeton. Oh, it's one of my favourite matchups. Princeton shown to the infield. Peregrine trying to play it safe, but does actually sneak to the inside and takes that line that Princeton really wanted. Takes lead as well.
And there goes Princeton's 100% lead average up to now across the game.
Ruined it, Peregrine. I hope you're happy with yourself. I'll bet she is.
She looks pretty happy.
So up front now, with the help of Terry Sudren, trying to deal with these blockers, but is unceremoniously dumped on the infield. But that is a penalty for the pivot. I believe that is Bellin going to the box for Yotterberg.
Along with, I think, is that Payne Gretzky?
Oh, Kafka also in there. So real pack advantage now, but it's all a bit of madness on that turn 1. And Peregrine, I'm not sure knows which way is up right now.
No, it's a testament to Yotterberg's blocking that even with that massive pack disadvantage, they were like, no, we found Peregrine, we've shut down.
They've just lost another one as well, back to the back to the box. So Stopless will be joining Gafka in the box. So real pack advantage for Newcastle. They picked up 4 in that jam. There's a minute left on the clock. Let's see how much closer the Canny Belters can get to Yotterberg. Of course, Eradicate.
They have broken that predictor. They are just smashing it apart. They're just like, oh yeah, we saw predictions and we're good actually.
This is we're gonna have an official review.
An official review. I wonder what they're officially reviewing. Let's guess. I like to guess.
Anything just so that we can have one more jam. I'm pretty sure.
Ah, it's being used as team timeout.
Yeah, which is smart.
It's smart. Although personally, if I want to use official review as a team timeout, no, maybe not. Don't know. Oh, it is an hour as a timeout.
It's all right, guys. We were right. It's an hour as a timeout.
I got overexcited when our head ref Iron Maven came over to announce, but it was just that. What I was going to say is that when you use an hour as a timeout, I personally prefer to just come up with something to official review because you get a longer break that way.
Yeah. I mean, I can waffle with the best of them.
Yeah.
If you ask me to explain something, we could be there for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So
just like, oh yeah, there was a possible high contact on a person in the thing, and then you give a load of details, and then they go off and chat and go, no, it wasn't. You're like, oh, that's fine. I just wanted to know. Just wanted a minute.
It's more than a minute. It's more than a minute. So pack advantage is absolutely with the Canny Belters as we go into what is potentially our last jam, but there's loads of team timeouts and stuff on the board, so who knows? But Eradicate has the start. Bumblebee has it for Yotterberg. We are going to see what Newcastle can do. It is Eradicate looking for that inside line and does in fact escape within a matter of 8 seconds.
That was gorgeous blocking from Drama Bomb, just going, nope.
So back in now, really looking to close this differential, and they're already in an excellent place right now, but any more points they can stack up. There are just 24 seconds left on the period clock. There is a minute and a half on the jam clock. Eradicate falls to the inside. Drama Bomb goes for some offense and misses ever so slightly. We're all reset. Bumblebee is down there on the floor, still safe, inbounds. Eradicate has been recycled back behind the jam start line. So Newcastle in control of this jam. There's the initial completed by Bumblebee. So Eradicate will have points in the pocket, looks for the outside line, but is denied by the Yotterberg blocker there. Calls it, so let's see how many were in the pockets. Oh,
there's a last-minute tumble, slidey leg tangle up where I think it just took them a minute to disengage.
I was trying to stop on it. So Newcastle picking up 4 points there, taking them to 94. Yotterberg on 126, and that is your unofficial score right now. Nobody pulled any sneaky tricks at the end. Done and dusted.
Just a 32-point difference for a game that was predicted to have a 100-point differential. That is phenomenal work from Newcastle. They should be very proud of themselves.
They should be incredibly proud of themselves. We have been incredibly proud to have Clementine Services as our wonderful Euroclash sponsors. You need it fixed properly, first time? Choose Clementine, your local reliable home services team. Don't go anywhere this afternoon because we have 3 more fabulous games coming up for you, and we're going to have a little bit of post-game analysis from Duke and Sven very, very shortly. But honestly, it is going to be quite the day of roller derby. It is going to have quite the impact, and Newcastle have just done themselves a world of favours there, but I'm not sure they've done Yotterberg any favours.
No, Yotterberg now going, I think, into this last game of the day with even more of a hunger to
I think we might need to get our calculators out at this point.
We
might need to do that.
We've broken the score predictor. It's time to make new ones.
Lovely stuff. So we are going to love you and leave you. I have been Riggs.
I have been, and will continue to be, Duke Special.
And that was Newcastle versus Yotterberg.
Thank you to our officials, our volunteers, and producer Chris. We will see you all very soon.
Well, that was a good game 2 here at Euroclash at the lovely Walker Dome.
Oh yeah,
in
it was a
Newcastle.
cracking game.
I mean, smashed the predictor.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you mentioned it on the feed. Going into that, it was ranked 20th, ranked 13th, Newcastle 20th, Yotterberg 13th. Predictor was like 104, 196 in favour of Göteborg.
Yeah.
But obviously, Newcastle in that last half really brought that back and brought us 32 point
32.
game.
We finished on a 32-point game.
Highlights of that one for you then.
I mean, just some of the blocking was phenomenal. Like watching both teams really figure it out and just shut down on each other. Like, oh, you're going to do that. Well, I'm going to do this. Just so like really tight packs, really tight scrum.
Yeah, there was some great containment, especially by Newcastle in that second half. Stopped Göteborg from doing what they were doing in the first half, which was dominating, getting those 4 points and calling it.
Yeah.
And it switched to the point where we saw Newcastle doing the same thing
Yeah.
to Yotterberg as the game went on.
Yeah, it was just
Again,
so fun to watch.
fantastic game to watch, especially for the crowd here, with it being the home crowd. Speaking of the home team, I'm going to step out and I'm going to hand this microphone to Jin and Sonic.
Look towards the camera. Hello, the internet. So, I feel like the big question is, how was that for you?
Absolutely amazing. It's so emotional and exciting to have International Roller Derby back in the Walker Dome. So brilliant, and a brilliant first game for us.
I'm so glad. I mean, we had an amazing time watching it. Was it fun to play? It looked like it was fun, but hard
It
work.
was so fun to play. Göteborg are such a good team, and it was really the kind of roller derby we really love. Like really grindy, really defensive, like very dynamic. It was very exciting.
And are you looking forward to playing Bear City next?
Yeah, cannot wait.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
let you have a moment to go. And
Fantastic
relax.
fit, by the way.
Thank you so much. I will take that. Thank you. That was Jin and Sonic. We've got two of our Yotterberg skaters. Yeah, I'm going to give you that. You'll have to share nicely.
Oh, yeah.
How was that? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy that?
So much fun.
It's
So much fun.
And we really enjoy being. I've been there 8 years ago for Euroclash in 2018.
Oh, wow.
And it's nice to be here at the Dome again.
Yeah, it's lovely to have it back in the Dome. The northern home of roller derby. I think the Dome is for all of us. What was your highlight of that game for you?
For me, I think it was the 16 points jam where I succeeded with the offense and our jammer went for a lot of laps.
It was an amazing game. Like, it was really fun to watch you all play.
Yeah. It feels like we didn't have like good run, play together, and we had a couple of times when everything went to shit, but we took it up and we just had fun together.
Yeah, and a lot of compliments to Newcastle, who were really tough opponents. And like super good offense and defense.
But fun to play against because they're very friendly. They were not mean or angry. They were really fun.
Yeah, they're a nice group, I think. Yeah, that's nice. And you're looking forward to playing against Lom later?
Yes. Yeah, but we're sadly missing. We only have 2 regular jammers, so we're. Don't tell Lom.
Yeah, it's a secret.
They probably know. Yeah.
But we are like we will do our best.
We will do the best we can with the things we have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that was 2 of your regular jammers down, that was a hell of a performance. It was impressive. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a lovely rest of your day. Sorry, got it. I'm back to Sven.
Well, thank you for that. So our next game, which we've got warming up the track behind us, Lom have made it here.
They've arrived.
So we're going to be game 3 now, which is going to be Tiger Bay versus Lom. That will be coming up at 1:30 here in the UK. Local times may vary, but that's coming up soon. So we're going to go and get a rest after that great game, and we'll see you back here for game 3 of Euroclash.